In this video, I'll show you how to add animated snow to your scenes in Blender. Now this technique for adding snow was used in my winter forest tutorial series, so if you want to check out that tutorial series, I'll have the link in the video description. So the first thing that I want to do is go to the render properties and I want to turn on motion blur. So this is going to add a little bit of motion blur to the moving snow and it will make it look more realistic. Now one issue with using the motion blur is that I want the snow to already be falling in the scene. So we're going to be adding a particle system and we're going to animate the particle system in the negative values so that once it gets to frame 1, the snow will already be falling in the scene. But the problem with that is that there's this error here where there's kind of like this strong motion blur on frame 1, and that's because all the snow is jumping over to frame 1, so there's a strong blur. So to fix this, I'm going to make it so it doesn't render frame 1 by turning the start frame to 2. Now I'm going to have this be a 250 frame animation so that it's 10 seconds long. So I'm going to turn the end frame to 251. So basically what we're doing is we're offsetting the animation by 1 frame, so the start frame is 1 frame forward and then the end frame is 1 frame forward. And of course if you have a longer animation you can turn your end frame up, but I'm just going to turn it to 251 so that way it's still a 250 frame animation, but we're just offsetting the start and end frame over. So now I'm going to delete everything in the scene and let's go to the add menu and I'm going to add a plane. And in edit mode, I'm going to scale the plane up and I'll type in like 50 and hit enter. So the plane's really big. Of course, you can scale it to whatever size is for your scene. And then I'm going to bring it up on the Z axis. Then we need to add an object to be our snow. So if I go to the add menu, I'm going to go to mesh and I'm going to add an icosphere. So I'll just zoom into the icosphere and I'll just shade the icosphere smooth with the object context menu and I'll just drag it over here to the side. And then if we go over here to the material properties, let's give it a new material. I can call the material snow. And for the base color, I'm just going to make this fully white. Let's now select the plane and we're going to go here to the particles and I'll click on new to add a new particle system. And I can hit the space bar to play the timeline. Now if you use Blender's video editor, then you might have this playback setting turned on. So if I click on playback, you can see I have the sync to audio turned on, and that's just because I do video editing in Blender. But when I'm doing simulations, I like to change this back to play every frame. So just make sure on the playback, make sure this is play every frame, and that way it won't jump or lose any of the frames. It'll play and it'll make sure to show all the frames without skipping frames. So now here on the particle settings, we can change the number, and I'm going to turn this to 20,000. So 20 and then 3 zeros. So that way there's a lot more particles. Now if I go back to the very beginning and play this, you can see the snow is just starting to fall. But in my animation, I want the snow to already be falling. So to fix this, we're going to go here to the frame start, and I need to turn the frame start into the negative value. So I'm going to type in negative 1000 here on the frame start. That way when I go to the very starting and then play this, I just need to jump back here to the starting and then let it simulate. And now you can see that snow is already falling even at frame 1. Now I want the snow to fall through the entire animation and I don't want the snow to end. So for this end frame, I'm going to set this to my end frame. So for this animation, I have it set to 251. But you can of course change the end to whatever size your animation is. Now as I play this, you can see the snow kind of ends right here, and so that is because of the lifetime. So the lifetime is how long the particles are going to last. So you can make this a lot bigger. I'm going to turn this to like a 300, and that way if I go back to the starting and then play this, you can see now the snow is falling much farther because it has a much longer lifetime. Now what I want to do is make this look a little bit more like snow, and so I want to make it look like it's being affected by the wind a little bit and make the snow look very light, because right now the snow is just falling straight down. So to do this, we're going to open up the physics tab, and then we're going to go to the forces, and then we can turn up this Brownian. So if I turn this Brownian, let's say to like a 10, now when I go back to the starting and play this, it is a bit hard to see, but the snow is moving around a little bit. Let's make this much higher. I'm going to turn it to like 100. So now if I go back to the starting and play this, you can definitely see it a lot stronger. So now you can see the little bits of snow are kind of moving around here and there. So it looks a lot more natural. It just looks like soft snowfall. Now the snow is falling a little bit fast, and to make it look a bit lighter, I want it to fall slower. So we're going to open up the integration tab under physics, and we can change this time step. So I'm going to change the time step to a 0.015, just a 0.015, so it's just a nice light snowfall. Now I want to make it actually render as the object because these actually won't show up in the render. So what I want to do is open up the render tab right here, and instead of rendering as a halo, we want to choose an object. Then for the object, we're going to click on the eyedropper and we're going to choose the icosphere. Then you can also change the scale of the particles. Now for this specific scene, I think that a 0.05 looks pretty good, so that's the default, but if your scene's really big or really small, you can change the size. Then you can also change the scale randomness, so I'm going to turn this up to a 0.5, and that way just some of the snowflakes are a little bit smaller. Now when we actually render the scene, this plane is going to show up, but I don't want the plane to be rendered. So if you go to the render tab here, you can turn off the show emitter. So if you turn off the show emitter, when you actually render this, the emitter object, so this plane won't actually show up in the render. So now I want to bake the animation, and it is pretty important that you bake the animation, because if you're rendering out the animation, sometimes the animation can stop, and so then the snow will disappear. So it's a really good idea to always bake your animation before you actually render it out. So let's just close all these tabs here, and I'm going to open up the cache. And so what we want to do is just click on the bake button. So it's going to go through and bake all of the animation, and now I can just scrub through the timeline, and you can see it's baked every frame. So then you could put this animated snow in a 3D scene. You could add like a sky world background, you can add some lighting, and then render out the animation. So I hope you found this video helpful, and thank you for watching. And if you'd like to watch my winter forest tutorial series, you can check that out with the link in the video description. And also, if you'd like to make a snow animation, but you want it to be a looping animation and create like a video overlay which you can add on top of footage, then I have a separate video on that where you can create a looping snow animation, so you can also check that out with the link in the video description. You can also learn more about particles by checking out my Particles for Beginners tutorial. So I hope you found this helpful, and thank you for watching.